Your roadmap to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald. Today we examine how US strikes on Iran sent shockwaves through energy markets and the global automotive industry. Oil prices surged, the Strait of Hormuz faced uncertainty, and supply chains felt immediate pressure. For car enthusiasts, this goes beyond politics. It affects fuel costs, manufacturing, logistics, and future powertrain strategies. We'll break down the oil market reaction, supply chain strain, and potential long-term energy restructuring. Number 5. Energy markets hit by a geopolitical jolt. When reports of the strikes emerged, global energy markets reacted instantly, as any conflict involving Iran signals potential disruption to crude supply. Positioned along the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil choke points, Iran plays a pivotal role in global energy flows. About 1/5 of daily oil shipments move through this narrow corridor, supplying refineries across major economies. Even the threat of instability pushes insurance costs higher, prompts shipping caution, and drives oil prices upward before physical shortages occur. For automakers, the impact is immediate. Vehicle manufacturing depends heavily on energy, from steel forging and aluminum casting to producing plastics and advanced materials. Rising oil prices typically lift electricity and industrial fuel costs, increasing factory expenses. Transportation costs also climb as components and finished vehicles move across global supply networks powered by diesel and marine fuel. Ultimately, geopolitical tensions can quickly translate into tighter profit margins and higher vehicle prices in showrooms worldwide. But rising prices are only part of the equation. The real leverage point lies in the narrow waterway through which much of that oil must travel. Number 4. The strategic choke point every automaker watches. The Strait of Hormuz may be only about 21 miles wide at its narrowest point, but it serves as a vital artery for global oil exports, carrying millions of barrels daily from producers like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, and the United Arab Emirates. Because such a significant share of the world's crude flows through this corridor, even minor disruptions or security concerns can send energy markets into rapid reaction, potentially driving oil prices sharply higher. History shows that rising gasoline prices quickly influence consumer behavior. During previous oil spikes, buyers shifted away from large SUVs and full-size pickups toward compact cars, crossovers, hybrids, and electric vehicles, placing fuel efficiency back in the spotlight. Automakers anticipate these cycles, adjusting long-term product strategies and electrification plans in response to fuel volatility. Higher oil prices also raise shipping costs for globally sourced components, from wiring harnesses to battery packs. As transport expenses increase, so do manufacturing costs. For the automotive industry, the Strait of Hormuz is more than geography. It's a powerful force shaping demand, strategy, and profitability. But the story doesn't stop at fuel prices and consumer shifts. Those pressures ripple directly into the intricate web of global auto supply chains. Number 3. Global supply networks under strain. Modern vehicles are some of the most globally integrated products ever created, combining semiconductors from Taiwan, lithium-ion cells from China, precision components from Europe, and raw materials sourced worldwide. This highly coordinated system delivers efficiency, but leaves little room for disruption. When tensions rise in the Middle East, shipping routes become riskier and more expensive. Insurance premiums increase, vessels are rerouted, and transit times lengthen. In an industry built on just-in-time manufacturing, even a delayed microchip or sensor can halt entire assembly lines. The semiconductor shortage demonstrated how vulnerable this system can be, forcing widespread production slowdowns. Energy-related disruptions could create similar strain. Beyond logistics, rising oil prices also impact petrochemicals used in plastics, synthetic rubber, adhesives, and insulation, essential materials in modern vehicles. Higher crude costs raise manufacturing expenses across the board. Ultimately, geopolitical instability doesn't just influence fuel prices. It affects the entire automotive ecosystem, from raw material inputs to production efficiency and overall vehicle costs. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more in-depth automotive analysis and industry breakdowns like this. Now that we've examined the immediate industrial strain, let's shift our focus to what could happen if the political landscape inside Iran fundamentally changes. Number 2. If political power shifts in Tehran. While conflict often triggers short-term market volatility, the larger question centers on potential political change within Iran. The country holds some of the world's largest oil and natural gas reserves, yet years of sanctions have limited its full participation in global energy markets. Significant production capacity remains underdeveloped due to financial and technological constraints. If the crisis were to lead to leadership changes or government restructuring, global energy dynamics could shift dramatically. International energy companies could return with capital, modern drilling methods, and infrastructure upgrades, potentially unlocking substantial new supply. Increased output would likely place downward pressure on oil prices over time. Historically, cheaper fuel reshapes automotive demand. When gasoline prices fall, consumers often gravitate back toward larger SUVs, pickup trucks, and higher displacement engines, reversing the efficiency-driven trends seen during oil spikes. Lower energy costs would also ease manufacturing expenses, benefiting processes like steel production, aluminum casting, and battery assembly. Although such political transitions are uncertain, Iran's meaningful reintegration into global energy markets could significantly influence fuel pricing, manufacturing costs, and future vehicle production strategies. But even that potential oil surplus leads us to another critical crossroads. What happens to the electric vehicle transition? Number 1. Electric vehicles at a crossroads. Electrification adds another layer to the geopolitical equation. When gasoline prices surge, electric vehicles typically gain appeal because higher fuel costs strengthen the long-term savings case for EV ownership. During past oil spikes, demand for hybrids and battery electric models increased, and governments often accelerated renewable energy investments, expanded charging infrastructure, and tightened emissions policies in response to energy instability. However, the dynamic can reverse if oil prices decline. If expanded global supply lowers gasoline costs, consumer urgency to move away from internal combustion engines may ease. A similar pattern emerged in the mid-2010s, when falling fuel prices revived demand for larger SUVs and full-size trucks. Yet today's EV transition is not driven solely by fuel economics. Regulatory mandates, corporate decarbonization goals, battery technology advancements, and localized supply chains are reshaping the industry. Automakers are committing billions to dedicated EV platforms and next-generation battery research, signaling a structural shift rather than a temporary trend. Ultimately, geopolitical instability may either accelerate electrification or coexist with fluctuating consumer preferences in a dual-track automotive future. And that brings us to the bigger picture. Verdict: a defining moment for energy in the automotive world? The U.S. strikes on Iran could have lasting effects beyond immediate geopolitical tension. In the short term, uncertainty surrounding key oil shipping routes increases volatility in energy markets, raising manufacturing, transportation, and vehicle costs. Over the long term, if Iran re-enters global energy markets at full capacity, greater oil supply could stabilize or lower fuel prices, reshaping consumer preferences and automaker strategies. History shows energy markets consistently drive automotive evolution, from the fuel-efficient shift after the 1970s oil crises to today's electrification era, proving crude price swings influence vehicle design, powertrains, and industry direction. And now, once again, geopolitics stands at the wheel. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Do you believe sustained geopolitical instability will accelerate the global shift toward electric vehicles, or simply create short-term turbulence? If oil prices were to drop significantly due to expanded global supply, would you personally reconsider larger SUVs or performance-focused models? And how should automakers balance long-term electrification investments against unpredictable energy cycles? Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights fuel the conversations that make this community stronger. If you found this deep dive valuable, make sure to subscribe to Highway Herald and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next vehicle update, industry shift, or engineering breakthrough we explore together. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next road ahead. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's more exciting and informative content waiting for you.